A major segment has been in the dilemma of redevelopment projects. We've received hundreds of phone calls from you. How do we pick the builder? Is it safe? What could go wrong? How do I make sure that the contract is watertight and the builder actually delivers? That's what we're focusing on today. Now, before I introduce my stellar lineup of guests, remember there is a phone line at the bottom of your screen. So if you have any question about redevelopment anywhere across the country, pick up the phone and call us right now. We'll patch you into the studio. My team is waiting by the phone lines. We'll patch you into the studio and you can ask our guests your questions. On the panel with me tonight, Uday, he's the advocate at the High Court. He's worked with redevelopment projects for decades and we're very glad to have him. Sandeep Ahuja is the CEO of Writ Realtors, a company that has been working with redevelopment as well. And Krishna Rai is the redevelopment activist and a journalist who joins us with his experience on how various problems have been solved in the past. We're going to go through this piece by piece, problem by problem, and try and find you as many solutions as possible. So pick up the phone and call us right now. Uday, first question to you. Obviously, it's hugely nervous for any sort of group of people to feel that they can go up against a builder in a big, complicated contract like this. What should a society keep in mind if they're opting for redevelopment?
It's an excellent question because it will be a standard question to anybody who's going for redevelopment. There are some don'ts and do's, and which are the most important is follow 79 guidelines. When I'm saying section 79 of Cooperative Societies Act, it says that you must have a project management consultancy. You must appoint experts to advise you before you go for redevelopment. Ask for tenders of project management consultancies. Again, I will tell you, the project management consultancy should be consisting of a lawyer, chartered accountant, because everybody thinks it's only the architect, but also structural engineer and society consultant.
Okay, so let me back this up a little bit. Assume I'm living in a building that is now viable for redevelopment. We all sit down together in our society meeting and say, I think we should consider it. Everybody agrees. What happens then? What's the first step that has to happen?
The first step is to get an 100% consent for redevelopment, not for builder. People are misunderstood.
Okay.
Whether we have to go for redevelopment or not, you must do your internal assessment, and that is you must do a feasibility study with an architect that what kind of building we can have, how much will be sellable area, how we will be structured, what extra space we will be taking. B, you must see, and which is not seen commonly by people, and they really have to sell the flats, is maintenance. Okay. What would be my maintenance after redevelopment? It's a golden $1 million question, because if you are paying 800 rupees now, after you build a building of say about 32 or 21 floors with the watchman and clubhouse and all the amenities with sauna and jacuzzi, you can go to 10,000 rupees a month. Okay. I make it simple for people.
Yes,
he was more little technical. I would say that there are a lot of brokers in the market who sell you the dreams and who say whatever you ask for, they are ready to give you. If you ask that I want 500 square feet extra, 2 rooms, they will say, we will give you 1,000. No problem. Yes. Everything, yes. Take over the project, finalize the agreement, then renegotiate or sell it to the new builder.
Sandeep, you're not coming out of this conversation looking very good.
Look at Vaidehi Akash. No, I am saying a case. Vaidehi Akash.
Right.
Vaidehi Akash, the Fondaker, and I am taking names. Fondaker was the builder appointed by society, sold the flats. Then they had to remove the Fondaker and Rustumji came in. Rustumji says, I have no privity of contract with previous buyers. Previous buyers are still on the roads and they may not get their flats in spite of litigation in the High Court.
How do we do that? Uday Vavekar, how do we do that?
I would only say that your Bhagavad Gita must be correct. Your agreements must be proper to protect you, because any good developer can turn into a bad developer. A bad developer can turn into a good developer. There is no definition of bad or good. You have to find out who can deliver the results to you. Ultimately, you should get your flat back in the condition that you wanted within the stipulated time limit.
And the only thing that can protect me is a good contract.
Let me tell you, Faye, Sandeep, I must ask, every builder says I will complete a redevelopment project in 18 months. You can't do interior of a flat in 18 months. How will construct the building?
All right, I have been told we have a viewer on the phone line right now. Sanjeev is calling us from Andheri in Mumbai. Sanjeev, we have a stellar lineup of guests right now who are here to help you. Tell us what problems you're facing.
नमस्कार मैडम, फर्स्ट आई विल लाइक टू कांग्रेचुलेट यू. आपका ये प्रोग्राम बहुत ही यूजफुल होता है एंड आई एम योर कांस्टेंट व्यूअर. तो बात ये है, I have got 3 questions. First question is कि my members want to go for rebuilding, ये redevelopment.
जी.
I am at अंधेरी मुंबई, ठीक है? तो बस आप देखते हो कि कितने खतरे हैं इस राह में, तो 3 साल से 8 साल हो जाता है. तो व्हाट आई से इज कि हमें बैंक गारंटी लेनी चाहिए पूरे कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन की. सो हेलो,
You want to know if you should be taking a bank guarantee from the builder on the cost of construction?
full cost of construction.
Full cost of construction, okay.
That too, after 3 years, it will increase. The rate will be increased. So on the increased rate, and then again for 2-3 years will be passed, and we will be living on rent. So that cost also added. But now, will the builder give so much amount of bank guarantee, and is it that will be legal for us to invoke it? Supposing 3 साल तक उसने नहीं बनाया, तो 3 महीने बाद grace period देकर हम अपना we change the builder and have it constructed ourselves or whatever.
Sanjeev, when you take a bank guarantee, realistically you should be asking the question. Let us say the plan is for a 17-story tower. Now I have seen ridiculous amounts offered as bank guarantee. 1.5 crore for a 17-story tower, a 20-story tower, 40 flats, things like that. Okay. What you need to ask is, as a manager, I assume, are you a part of the managing committee, or are you a part of the rest of the?
I am a part of redevelopment committee.
It's a legal question. I can tell you that the bank guarantee, today no builder offers the total project bank guarantee, but it's a part of security, and idealistically what Krishna says is correct. But I have got a project, New Ambuli Society at Veera Desai Road, where the builder did not complete. The bank guarantee of 50 lakhs has been encashed by the society, and the first society to encash bank guarantee and change a builder. Of course, Krishna rightly says there was a litigation up to High Court for 2.5 years, including an arbitration. The cost of the litigation was around 15 to 20 lakhs.
Who bore the cost of the litigation?
Ultimately, the society had to bear this cost of litigation. So they got 50 lakhs minus 20 lakhs.
All right, the loss when replacing the builder is about 20%. Is that a fair assessment?
I would not say it's a fair assessment, but at least you have something to negotiate with other builder, and there is a scope of negotiating, and he also has his, I would say, cake in it, so that it becomes little easy for him to take over.
Sanjeev, who called in, wanted to know, should I be asking for a bank guarantee? Will I get that kind of bank guarantee from the builder? What should I be asking for instead? Uday Vavikar, if he's drawing up a contract, what would you recommend be in that contract?
The bank guarantee has to be there. The bank guarantee encashment, the terms have to be very, very clear, that if he does not get for example, he says, I'll get a conveyance within 6 months, and he doesn't get. Without conveyance, you can't do redevelopment. Then the bank guarantee can come in, or his construction would not start in stipulated time, and the times is the essence of the contract. Then also bank guarantee can be invoked. Or the performance guarantee is also given, that within the stage-wise plan would be this, with a bar chart. Then also the bank guarantee can be revoked. So when you draw a contract, you have to take care of all the angles and how the bank guarantee will be. It should be unconditional to withdraw the bank guarantee on failure of a builder. Otherwise, the smallest condition, he can get a stay from even cooperative court registrar, and then you have a litigation. That's what happened in Ambuli Society.
This is not
I would just add one thing which is very important. Most of the builders say, we will give you a blank check signed or amount of check of the bank guarantee. Keep it with you. You can encash at any time. And this 3 months validity or 6 validity is there. There is a latest Supreme Court judgment that a check cannot be a security, and such a bank guarantee is not acceptable. Not even under 130th when he bounces the check. I'll give you a common man this thing. That when you talk of the project, you not only talk of the square feet construction rate, which will go into construction, but you also calculate a license cost, you calculate the permission cost, you calculate the deposits, you also calculate the other construction costs that you would have, including road and garden and planning. In terms of the beautification, swimming pools, amenities, all that would be including the project cost.
The project cost. So, not just the construction cost, 20% of the project cost is what we should aim.
I'm sorry, including the permissions that you have to
including the permissions,
including the deposits with the authorities. I will give you an example. Mahada initially used to take 20% as a project cost as an advance, premium. Then they started asking for flats itself, and builders in Tilak Nagar, I'm giving you a concrete example, paid 20% premium, constructed the building, sold the building and ran away. Today they are not getting occupation certificate because MADA is saying rest 80% the society should pay. That a PMC can do first you must have a feasibility study, look at the profitability that the builder is going to have ultimately, and then come down to a fair project cost for both, because both are the partners in the business. Okay. Society has to get the building back, builder has to take his cake and build it too. Another solution is that you make such an agreement that today in Mumbai you get 1:4 FSI and 7 also. Suburban may get that for a cluster development in Mumbai. Okay. So suburban today is getting say 1:1, 2.33. That will go up to 4 or maybe in cluster development more. So the agreement should take care of that, saying that in case there is an increase in FSI, there will be equal share between society and the builder. And once you have a clear-cut understanding, like a marriage in advance with an agreement and contract, then I think you can go hand in hand.
Mr. Uday, wavika actually believes a marriage can function that way.
By the way, Faye, it is not a marriage.
Time has come for a contract marriages.
All right, we'll get to that. I'm told we have one more caller on the phone line. Suleiman is joining us from Mumbai. Suleiman, thank you for calling us. Tell us what your question is. Suleiman, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hello.
What's your question?
Yeah, my question is to Krishna Rai and Uday Vavikar.
Yes.
In MADA, the flat owners don't have a choice
Right.
to choose their developers.
Okay.
The developers grease the palms of the MADA authorities and they come as a developer. Even though MADA knows that this builder or the developer has defaulted in various schemes, he's not able to complete any of the projects which he has taken earlier 10 years back.
Right.
You are referring to somebody particular, Suleiman?
Yeah, I'm referring to particular builder.
Who? Name it.
There are developers like RNA. There are developers like Suntech. They take the project and they, without procuring any permission, they demolish the building. They do the excavation work without getting the commencement certificate, and after that, the stopwork notice is being issued. The work is being held up for the last, say, for 4 years. In some projects, it is for 10 years. Then after this developer gets a new project.
Okay.
Suleiman,
One second. I want to come to Uday Vavikar first. You first said that no. MADA cannot force you to go with any particular developer.
Exactly.
Obviously, the residents have a choice. Do they have a choice?
Residents have a choice. Suleiman, what has happened unfortunately is there are area-wise builders who do monopolization of a particular area. Now, since let us look at Chembur, you will find most of the Chembur projects, RNA was the leading one. And for obvious reason, I don't want to disclose you and you know about it. But the point is, even with the RNA, I have taken a stay in Chembur Ashirwad building where he was demolishing a strong building, and ultimately they have to come to around a settlement through National Commission order or a stay on redevelopment. For a 390 crore project, 9 people took a stay, and I'm talking of facts. And Justice M.B. Shah, then who was the president of the National Commission, gave a stay on the project. Builder, the RNA had to renegotiate the project, and project started. And some of the societies are doing self-redevelopment therefore. So it is not that, of course, authorities don't give sometimes NOC. The problem people don't understand is once you appoint an architect, and if that architect is on the record of MADA, unless you get an NOC from that architect, the new architect cannot be appointed. Similar position is that of builder. I think we'll have to work out on this and see that we do proper due diligence before we are doing the project.
Okay.
And
if he feels that the MADA authorities are strong-arming the residents to pick a builder that they're not happy with, what can he do?
Writ petition is always there. Public interest litigations are there. And in a writ petition, many a times the High Court has come very heavily upon these authorities. Of course, these are the legal ways.
Uday, generally speaking, High Court is seen as biased in terms of the builder, in the sense that they say, oh, minorities opposing it.
That would be a contemptuous statement.
That's a very
That would be a contemptuous statement.
No, it's not a contemptuous statement. We are free citizens of this country, and we can speak about the judiciary.
I appreciate Krishna. The problem is people are not organized. And High Court sometimes see both ways.
And
because
builders can hire advocates who are way better paid
I agree
than
with you.
the
I-
tenants
I-
can.
something I'll
Uday
really object
Wavika
to. I don't
argues
think
on
that's
behalf of
something-
society.
I am arguing on behalf of society. I have told you with 9 people against RNA, the most strongest man, where one of the leading powerful person in Maharashtra was partner.
Sandeep
I-
Ahuja,
Please
but
happen.
enough
Okay.
builders complain that the courts don't even look at them with kindness.
I think
No,
I-
exactly.
No. Today, Justice Dharmadhikari came with one judgment that single person, if there's a illegality in the society, can get a stay on the entire redevelopment.
See, one
Why
is
it
that.
is so that-
one-
Yes, what's it? Let's hear from Suleiman. Go ahead, Suleiman.
Yeah. My question is the point raised by Uday Wavika about the architect. I will give you an architect whose name is Jitendra Davulkar. He manipulated the FSI, he manipulated the square feet of the building, and that building was demolished because what he showed in the plan and what he constructed was a separate thing. But then too, Jitendra Davulkar is getting his work done. He's getting more project as an architect, although he has done all the illegal works in the past and still he's carrying on. And nobody cares. So many complaints have been filed against Jitendra Davulkar, and I'll tell you, he's not an architect, he's only a licensed surveyor, but then too he signs as an architect and the plans get approved by the MHADA authorities. And I've made several complaints.
Bhimani, what seems to have happened, Suleiman?
Yeah,
Bhimani, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, same guy.
Okay, Uday Wavika,
This
what can you do in
architect,
this case?
Suleimanji, you know, the architect is a professional person like me, and he is answerable to the Institute of Architect.
In theory.
If we file a case against him in institute as well as in consumer court, because this is a professional deficiency of service by an architect, we can take an action on the architect. If the institute does not act, of course, you can go to the there are courts like high courts where we can go, but consumer courts are very heavily coming upon
This is in
the
theory.
professionals.
I don't
This
think.
is
Why is it in theory?
In practice, this is not happening.
Krishna should come to
Architects-
me. I will say, because I am handling day in and day out for last
Yes.
20 years these
Yes.
cases. Let me tell you, the percentage of victory of the cases is nearly 80%. And that's some good news for all consumers.
How long does
And-
that take, Uday Wavika?
And,
How
and
long does
that's a pretty good question. Consumer courts are faster than any other courts in India. Of course, when I say faster, it's not an espresso coffee. You take average 3 to 4 years even in consumer court, but you get the justice, and you not only get the justice, you get the justice delivered. For the simple reason is, for consumer court execution, the criminal execution is done by president of consumer
Okay.
court. You
Uday,
don't have
there
to
is
go
a problem
in the
here when you
criminal
about-
courts.
Yeah. Phone lines are open. Amisha Gandhi, I'm told, is on the phone line from Mulund. Mrs. Gandhi, go ahead. Tell us what your question is.
Yeah, ma'am. Good evening, everybody.
Good
I am
evening.
sure.
Amisha Gandhi from Mulund, and my society is under redevelopment. But what I find the problem with this majority is that they are very pleasant and conveniently placed when they are with the majority. They don't want to ask for the rights and whatever is within their legal dues. They don't come out openly with the public, and they don't support the minority.
The herd mentality.
Yeah, the herd mentality. They don't want to come out with the minority, and they are rather sitting on the fence. They are seeing on what side, the weightage is more, they will go with them. Yeah, my question is, what are the rights available to minorities? Because when we go to High Court, High Court generally says that they don't want to interfere with majority are happy with the builder as well as the managing committee.
Uday Wavika, what do you think
The
available?
right answer, she's right to a great extent, because there was Raja Developers judgment of Bombay High Court. Then again, there was a judgment of Honorable Justice Dharmadhikari. Raja Developers said minority cannot control majority and stop the redevelopment when majority wants the redevelopment. The Justice Dharmadhikari judgment said one person is enough to stop the redevelopment if there is a illegality. And again, that was reversed by Honorable Justice Swatantra Kumar, saying that no, majority would stand as far as redevelopment is concerned. We don't want to stop the redevelopment for majority. But underlying principle in all these three judgments, and it is a great news to you, was that if there is a blatant illegality done by and 79 guidelines are not followed, then of course there can be a stay. You can change the builder, you can terminate the builder. Of course, one man has to fight. One man can make a difference to entire India. We can make, let us have the courage.
Uday, Wavika, provided she has proof of blatant illegality.
Exactly. 79 guidelines, which are very clear guidelines. You ask for the if they don't give the papers to you, and which I agree with
Sandeep,
Krishna.
I am dealing with 79A guidelines and I am dealing with the 79A certificate.
Let me complete. I agree with you that there are autocratic, there are bureaucratic, and there are absolutely, we say, commanding society office bearers who believe in speed money, and therefore this problem comes in redevelopment within character of people also. But at the same time, legality, last point, which is the most important point we have not discussed, is the trust. When my father was a promoter developer, being an IS officer, he took he formed the society, got a government plot. We have got a beautiful building at Jew today, built only by my father and the builder with all the society members. We can go back for the self-redevelopment, provided there is a trust, because even trust within the society member in cooperative societies, cooperation is missing, and if that is there, I think we can achieve our dreams.
All right, I'm told Krishna Rai is on the phone line from Grant Road. Krishna Rai, if you can hear us, tell us what your question is.
The question is basically for all the panelists, especially Mr. Ahuja.
Yes.
I would like to know what would be the benefits of self-redevelopment in which a society appoints a builder and then executes a partnership agreement with him.
Okay, that's a great question.
Elaborate on the advantages of such a...
Uday Varkar, I have one question for you. Banks are not really always very gung-ho about giving loans for self-redevelopment projects. That's
Mumbai
a huge,
Development
huge
Cooperative
problem.
Bank today is ready to give you it's your bank, cooperative bank, and Abhishek Gosalkar, who's the director in charge, is waiting for societies to come and they give the guidance also. They can give you the contractors list also and expert advice also. So you can take a loan, because there are many projects where the builder
How
would
many
not come in.
successes have you seen?
Now, at least we have reported that one Prithvi society in Borivali has done it. There are several others in Chembur. So people have done it, especially
So
where
single digits?
I think they're not too many. I think they're not too many.
It's the beginning.
Believe
Faye,
that.
I would
Then
come in
redevelopment
here.
would be off
Faye,
the
I
table
would come in
completely.
here
Yes, Uday.
for the simple reason is that a flute has many holes, yet you have a beautiful music. If you are an optimistic and look at how many good projects have been completed in redevelopment,
No,
there
I
are
see.
number of
I
projects
have one
which have
rebut for you,
completed.
Krishna. I have one rebut for you.
Sure.
If this is what you truly believe of the market, then your advice, I'm assuming, to everybody who calls is just don't do it.
They have to first, of course, the common things like feasibility study, etc. First is the feasibility study and the profitability in the project. Go with the entire project work to an Mumbai District Cooperative Bank. Understand from them on mortgage of their property what loan you can take, because once you know the project cost, then they can tell you that there are various reputed contractors like Larsen and Toubro, Tata Housing, even the, I would say now, Richa developer has the various offers for you. Go with them as the contractor, and I like what Sandeep said. It has to be a partnership basis, so that even the builder puts in something. It's not that the only society puts in
Also,
something.
how important is communication among the members of the society?
That's the most important. I was coming to it on Faye. Trust is very important.
All right.
If you have the trust,
has to be earned. Trust cannot be automatically given.
it was, see, it is like this. Somebody has to also be ready to sacrifice Krishna. People today don't have time. In society also, people has to give the time, commitment. Then only I think it's a mutual blend.
Let me agree with
both.
Uday. Let me agree with Uday on this.
Krishna, right? Does that answer your question? Do you have anything else to ask us?
I would like to ask them basically what are the pitfalls or what should we be looking out for when we do a partnership with the developer?
Take advice of proper property lawyer, because people don't like to go to lawyers even for such kind of
Is
things.
there any such thing as a
Agreed.
standard contract when it comes to redevelopment?
The terms of 79 gives the guidelines, but there is a standard contract under MOFA, Maharashtra Flat Ownership Act. Most of the builders do not do individual agreements because of this, because I would strongly recommend, Faye, that along with the development agreement, the flat owner must have his own individual agreement under MOFA. Because MOFA stringent provisions are there for developers, and once an individual agreement comes in the hand, he knows exactly how many square feet he is going to get, which floor is going to get, which flat is going to get. The allotments are clear on a strategical basis and not on a haywire basis. And at the same time, we must be vigilant in society, attend meticulously the meetings, general body meetings of the society, do our homework properly. Otherwise, people take pride that I never attend society's meeting. I stand outside and discuss the problems of society.
Agreed. That should not be done.
हाँ सर, मैडम मेरा सोसाइटी रीडेवलपमेंट में गया हुआ है।
जी
अभी 4 साल हो गए, बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है। अभी खाली 6 फ्लोर अभी तक कंप्लीट हुए हैं
जी
और अभी लास्ट 6 मंथ से इज नॉट पेइंग ए सिंगल रेंट। हाँ, तो मैम अभी उसको बिल्डर अभी रेंट भी नहीं दे रहे और बिल्डिंग आगे कर भी नहीं रहे। हम लोग अटक गए हुए हैं, आगे क्या कर सकते हैं?
आपका डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट स्टैंड्स कैंसिल्ड. ओके, लेट मी पुट इट दिस वे. इफ द बिल्डर वायोलेट्स द टर्म्स ऑफ योर डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट, आपका जो डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट है वो कैंसल्ड है. अब तकलीफ ये है कि मैनेजिंग कमिटीज ये बोलने को डरती है. वो बोलती है कि अगर हम ऐसे कह देंगे और बिल्डर भाग जाएगा तो हम क्या करेंगे, कहाँ जाएंगे. ये एक एटीट्यूड है. और दूसरा ये एटीट्यूड है कि हमें बिल्डर को भरपाई करना होगा क्योंकि बिल्डर का नुकसान हुआ है, बेचारे का नुकसान हुआ है.
नहीं, legally क्या कर सकते हैं?
Let me
Uday
take
Bhavik
this
का
question.
legally
I
क्या
have got a similar society called Malad Sana, where the identical issue was there. There are 3 things. You must go to the consumer court and interim relief. As far as your rent is concerned, at least within a year or so, you will get your rent back. There will be a direction to the builder, and if he doesn't comply the interim order, he can go to the jail. So consumer court is the first thing that you can go to. Second is, you have to see that you take the possession of your society if it is nearly completion. Start taking over your own OC steps and lock all the, you can control the saleable flats. Then the builder comes around, and this has happened in Malad Sana.
Uday, tell me why, if there is a substantial breach of the contract, okay, and I think not paying rent is a very substantial breach of the contract.
Exactly right, but cancelling and development agreement would invite an arbitration clause. And what is the cost of the arbitration?
No, what is the
Can
scope for
society-
called it a
arbitration?
marriage when we started
Why
this
arbitration?
Yes. Therefore, going for divorce is a very painful thing, and you may not get another builder. If you don't get another builder, what do you do?
Why
so if
will you not get another builder if this man has breached the contract substantially?
Right, so if I'm not able to clear the titles and clear the table legally, I'm never going to get another builder
But
interested in
the
this project.
development
So we'll always
agreement
be
stands
stuck in-
cancelled.
stuck
He
in limbo.
breached it.
But-
there are very
but the
clear
process was
breaches.
that-
Sandeep, would you be interested in taking up a project if it hasn't completely been
technically we cannot
legally sorted out?
Technically we cannot take over unless the old
That's the
developer is out.
difficulty.
So that's a sad part, and I think it boils down to the same thing that, while you can legally go out and go against the developer, see, typically what happens is the legal procedure, like Uday says, it takes some time to get the relief. However, when you go to the court and there's an interim stay or something on the project, therefore the developer cannot hand over the sales flat, and therefore he gets into other problems. I'm sure he will come on the table, or he will make sure that he will deliver the promised rental and the flats to you. So therefore the legal process may not give you direct results immediately, but they'll give you definitely the indirect results.
All right, gentlemen, we've run out
I
of
agree
time.
with Sandeep.
Yeah.
There are good orders from High Court. If your builder does not perform, they have allowed to terminate the agreement.
And I think ahead of the show, I'll just say one thing.
allowed
I think
to
all of
terminate
this,
the
I think it will really help us as developers if in case the customers actually go and find out, or various legal procedures.
Actually ask what the delay was.
No delay in terms of in case if in case the customers find out the good developers versus the bad developers, they go against the bad developers.
I'm
We
sure
will
there's a
stand
directory
to. What will
available.
happen is at least we will have an incentive to do good job.
Sure.
I think that's something which would be
So
given
people
to good
should
developers.
identify the bad developers.
Yes.
Out there in
and
public
go,
space.
Go all over,
Yes.
go all out
Out
of them,
in public
all out
space.
in them,
It is
and
interesting
get after
to
them.
the member
Perfect.
of parliaments. I have suggested to select committee that there must be registration of builders like stock and shares, and you must accrete these builders, and they should cancel their licenses if they default.
This is something
that
that's
is
being
not there
considered-
in our country.
It's being considered by the real estate regulator as part of the realty bill that's being tabled in Parliament in the winter session. But we've run out of time on this conversation. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and answering those questions. I of you to come back the next time we're having a redevelopment conversation. We've run out of time for those of you at home, but the phone line will continue to be open. That is our website details. Get in touch with us. We'll continue these conversations because we'll try and help you out as far as possible. Thank you so much for watching Magic Bricks Now. Stay with the channel for more news and updates.